Steve on.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
They always tell you to your face, we'll be out there the next day, somebody will be out there, but nobody ever shows up, and they never fix anything.
New at 11, RTV6 is working for you, getting answers and finding out what to do if you find yourself in a situation similar to this. The woman you just heard from says the owners of her apartment complex have not done anything to fix major issues.
She's been living at Lexington Green and Villa Capri near Speedway for about a year, and right now several people there are without hot water. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is getting answers tonight.
This is the hot water, not running.
For days now, Tiffany Strait and her neighbors at Lexington Green and Villa Capri have had to make do without any hot water. The problem started with this now broken water heater.
This gas was on. I had to call the gas company today to have it turned off because there was gas fumes going for 6 days.
With water all over the floor, Tiffany tells me she has little hope things will be fixed.
You could ask people that don't even live in this row of apartments. They will tell you that maintenance, they do nothing.
I tried calling and emailing Barrett Asset Management. They're the ones who manage this property. No one picked up the phone, and the email was sent back to me as undeliverable. No one was at the office when we got there, but this sign was on the door, letting folks know if you're trying to pay rent today, you're late. Rent for Tiffany is around $1,100 a month.
You would think that for what we pay that we would get more than what we're getting. At least a reassurance that something's going to be done and it follow through.
Seeing that there was no way to work with the property managers out here, Tiffany tells me that she reached out to the Marion County Health Department. I called them and they said that is exactly what anyone should do in a situation like this. And they told me that they plan to be out here over the next couple of days to hopefully get the ball rolling on the fixes needed. Working for you in Speedway, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Now, if you feel like you have a problem and feel like you have nowhere else to turn, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
It is a nice night to be out on Monument Circle. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us now, tracking a warm-up. Kevin.
Temperatures warm the next 2 days. Well, really Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then we'll feel the big change as we get to the weekend. We're dry until probably Friday afternoon. That'll be our next best chance for showers and thunderstorms. 60 in Indy. Look what happens when you get in outlying areas. Montgomery County, also Putnam County, upper 40s already. Bloomington's at 49. We'll be united in the 40s tomorrow morning. Generally, upper 40s. You see the progression of overnight lows. Afternoon high temperatures will be climbing as well. We'll be at 68 by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, pushing mid-70s with a mixture of clouds and sunshine tomorrow afternoon. This is the mild side of the forecast. The other side impacts the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up.
New at 11, a Central Indiana School Board meeting takes a heated turn.
All of you should be ashamed. And you smirking and taking this lightly, I am so surprised at you guys. And you know what? No wonder these teachers are afraid to say anything. You just showed them exactly what would happen.
Tonight, the Northwest Hendricks School Board accepted the superintendent's resignation. Mike Springer is not saying why he is leaving, but the decision comes amid a criminal investigation into Tri-West football coach Tyler Bruce. He is accused of sexual misconduct with a student. Call 6 Investigates has been following the case for months. Springer recommended the board fire Bruce, but the board decided to keep him. Many parents, community members, and even staff brought up the issue at tonight's meeting.
But what is hard is to see that the place I work at is going through this, and that no one is taking a stand to try and resolve it. It just looks like we're just shoving it under the rug. And my daughters are like, Mommy, why are you still working there?
I don't understand it. Wrong is wrong. This is wrong. Protect your teachers, protect your students, and get the bad ones out. It's corrupt.
Bruce has not been criminally charged and denies wrongdoing. Springer also recommended the board terminate 2 other school employees in connection with the situation, but the board went against that recommendation as well. An attorney representing the family of the student accusing Bruce of misconduct released a statement saying, quote, "The board's insistence to ignore Mr. Springer at every turn is disappointing at best. Mr. Springer's actions showed concern for the students at Tri-West. The same cannot be said for the school board."
The search continues for a hit-and-run driver who killed a teen boy on a motorbike nearly 1 month after the crash. 14-year-old Luis Daniel Patino Ortega was killed on Coyle Street near 64th and Michigan Road on September 11th. His mother hopes the driver turns themselves in. She also hopes changes will be made to prevent future crashes. A longtime family friend helped translate for Luis's mother, telling RTV6 the family had concerns about speeding drivers on their dark street for a long time.
They didn't know who to call, who to reach out to, but they wanted to put speed bumps, and they kept saying someone is going to get hurt. You know, God forbid someone should get killed out there.
IPL tells RTV6 the city has submitted proposals to add street lights on Coyle Street, and the family says they are not aware of any arrests in this case. New at 11, the search for a suspect wanted in connection to a drive-by shooting in Greenwood is over. Police arrested an 18-year-old man this afternoon, just hours after releasing surveillance images of the suspect and vehicle. That shooting happened at 11:30 this morning on Old Smith Valley Road near Morgantown Road. The suspect faces an attempted murder charge.
A hearing tomorrow could determine if a woman accused of killing her 10-year-old stepdaughter is mentally competent to stand trial. Amanda Carmack is charged with murdering Skylee Carmack in Gas City. Investigators say Carmack hid the girl's body in a plastic bag, then reported her missing. The remains were found last month after several days of searching.
Tonight we know much more about the White House's decision not to cooperate with the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi is in Washington with the latest.
In a scorching 8-page letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the White House tonight declared it will not cooperate with the impeachment inquiry, writing the investigation is, quote, dangerous, illegitimate, and a violation of fundamental fairness. This letter comes just hours after the State Department blocked the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, from testifying on Capitol Hill.
The failure to produce this witness, the failure to produce these documents, we consider yet additional strong evidence of obstruction.
Sondland is a central witness in the impeachment investigation who reportedly worked behind the scenes to help carry out Trump's wishes in Ukraine, a country that isn't in the EU. And this morning, House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff revealing new details about the text exchange involving Sondland and several others.
We know from the text messages that Ambassador Sondland was in discussion with Ukrainian counterparts, with fellow diplomatic personnel, and the president, as well as at least one U.S. senator, about the course of events that we are investigating.
Schiff also says those messages were from a, quote, personal device Sondland turned over to the State Department. This evening, House Democrats issued a subpoena for Sondland's testimony and his documents. Meanwhile, President Trump and other Republicans blasted Schiff's handling of the investigation.
What we see in this impeachment is a kangaroo court, and Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo.
We're also learning that a White House official that was on Trump's phone call with Ukraine's president described the call as frightening and scary, according to an account from the whistleblower. And it was that conversation between that official and the whistleblower that was the basis for the formal complaint. Mona Kassar Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
A decision is expected by next summer as the Supreme Court hears cases on whether it is legal to fire workers based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. The High Court started hearing 3 cases today. They are the court's first on LGBT rights since Justice Anthony Kennedy's retirement and replacement by Justice Brett Kavanaugh. It is still legal to fire someone for being gay in many states. And a vaping-related illness has taken the life of a 17-year-old boy in New York. The state's governor made the announcement today. The teen may be the youngest fatality so far connected to the crisis. It's the first reported vaping-related death in New York. There are dozens of deaths reported around the country, including one in Indiana.
If you missed today's low-cost flu vaccine clinics, the Marion County Health Department will hold several more this month. Shots cost $20 for adults and children's ages 2 to 18. Vaccines are free for kids younger than 2. The next clinic Clinic is Tuesday, October 15th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Indiana Chin Baptist Church on Madison Avenue on the south side. You can find a full list by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
The first weekend of mobile sports betting is in the books in Indiana. It opened up on Thursday. We've learned DraftKings paid out more than $300,000 to people in the Hoosier State who bet on the Colts to beat the Chiefs Sunday night. DraftKings is one of 2 available options for mobile sports betting. A representative says the company is taking steps to cater to the Indiana market.
We'll continue to educate. We'll continue to make sure that there's fabulous content out there. We will adapt our site as we see what people in Indiana want to see.
Indiana is the 3rd state to allow for mobile sports betting after New Jersey and West Virginia. Indianapolis is set to host the NBA All-Star Game in 2021, but the city is already celebrating the benefits to the community. Today, the host committee announced a $1 million legacy initiative associated with the game at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The project will focus on nonprofit organizations across the state that help young people. Committee co-chair and Fever legend Tamika Catchings talked about the impact of the initiative.
When you look at what we've been able to do with the Pacers organization and all of the people that are a part of our amazing committee and amazing chairs, we want to make an impact on lives, not just for 2021, but for a long, long time.
Grants of up to $50,000 will go to 21 capital improvement projects that focus on health and wellness, like basketball courts and education centers.
The number of Latino-owned businesses across the U.S. is growing. Coming up, Hiring Hoosiers will share the unique challenges those businesses face and how an upcoming event can help those owners thrive.
Put their own life in jeopardy to save her, so that was like a good sign.
And a Marion County man shares the life-saving moments he witnessed as his apartment building burned. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Cumberland Police and Metro Police plan to speak tomorrow after 2 officers saved a family from a burning building. Tonight, a neighbor is sharing what he saw and heard.
I kept hearing someone screaming. Like, I thought I was dreaming at first, and then I woke up and I just kept hearing it and kept hearing it.
RTV6 was on the scene of the fire at Cumberland Manor Apartments shortly after it started around 2:30 this morning. Investigators say a couple returning home from vacation in Miami pulled into the parking lot outside their building and saw smoke coming from an apartment. They called 911 and alerted neighbors. One of those neighbors says he helped comfort a teenager who was trapped on a balcony.
There was a young girl like in this window. She had like 1 foot out and 1 foot in, like she was just ready to like jump out the window. And I kept telling her like, just hold on, the police are on the way, because I could see the lights like coming from down the street.
Firefighters used a ladder to save that 16-year-old girl, and IFD says at some point during the evacuations, a Cumberland officer and an IMPD officer kicked in the door of an apartment and rescued a family of 3. 2 officers were taken to the hospital in serious condition. A 40-year-old woman found in the apartment where the fire started was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Firefighters and paramedics on the west side are getting added protection for dangerous situations thanks to a gift from the community. The Speedway Moose Lodge donated more than $3,000 to the Wayne Township Fire Department. The money will be used to buy 50 first aid kits. The special kits will be attached to ballistics vests that are worn during situations that could lead to injuries that would require wound treatment or similar care.
Tonight, dozens of people enjoyed the final slow ride of the year through Carmel. The 10-mile ride, hosted by the organization Bike Carmel, allows cyclists to enjoy a ride through the city at their own pace. It's also a safe ride. Carmel police officers escorted the group. Organizers say it's a great way to see the city.
There's a lot going on in Carmel, and we do have, in some parts of the city, we have a lot of side paths. In some places like downtown, we have the Monon.
IU Health North Hospital sponsored this event. Some of the money from registration fees will go to the advocacy group Bicycle Indiana.
Tomorrow, leaders with the Indianapolis Public Schools and the city will talk about the district's growth and future. In the first ever IPS State of the District address, it starts at 6:30 p.m. at Shortridge High School. Registration is required to attend. You can register by going to myips.org. Patients, families, and staff at Riley Hospital for Children are getting in the Halloween spirit a little early. Today, the Children's Museum brought part of its famous haunted house to the hospital, bringing fun to kids who can't make it to the attraction this year. This year's haunted house theme is Hotel of Spells. Look at all those witches.
Spooky. One of my favorite Halloween jokes that someone told me. Did you know that I dated twin witches in high school?
No.
It was hard to tell which witch was which. Oh, man, what a comedian. Temperature tomorrow, 75. No jokes here. Temperature is very mild the next few days. I almost forgot the punchline of that. That's the scariest part when you're going to tell a joke.
I saw that blank stare for a moment.
I just start laughing before I finish it. So
temperatures that are almost 80 as we get to Friday will be shockingly cooler on Saturday. 56, the magic number. Let's talk about what will happen to the west. Snow in the northern plains, the Dakotas. Showers and thunderstorms develop out ahead of a strong cold front. Not tomorrow, not Thursday. This will come Friday afternoon into Friday night. Remains to be seen how strong some of these storms may be, but the thunderstorm potential is there and the potential to impact Friday night football. Temperatures well above average and the wind will be strong as well. Just to show you, these are high temperatures Saturday, first half of the weekend, the coolest of the weekend, but also the coolest within the 7-day planner. Temperatures no warmer in some spots than the lower 50s to the north. Temperature 60 in Indianapolis, to the south 53 in Evansville, 52 in Lafayette, in the 40s already in Terre Haute. Tomorrow morning, quite cool, but we make a quick recovery. By noon, almost 70 degrees. Afternoon, high temperature up to 75 with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. We step it up a bit Thursday. These are mid to high level clouds. I don't think we'll have any rain. Temperature 79 for the afternoon high, and we'll peak again as we get to Friday, right about the same temperature. The difference will be Saturday or Thursday, more sunshine. Friday, increasing clouds out ahead of the cold front. The strong wind out of the south on Friday will help boost those temperatures close to 80. It will just be a matter of timing for the showers and thunderstorms. Cold front at 7 a.m. just west then of the Mississippi River. There's your snow out on the plain states. As we go into the weekend, 56 Saturday. Temperature on Sunday with more sunshine, 64 degrees. The chance for showers is 20%. If you're going anywhere in the state Saturday, northern Indiana, South Bend, for example, will struggle just to get into the lower 50s. The chance for showers over the weekend, just 20% on Saturday. Monday and Tuesday, sun's back out. Temperatures settle back into the mid 60s, below average. And your 7-day forecast, temperatures next week for overnight lows, generally around 40. But I'll say this, Sunday, outlying areas, some patchy frost is possible, not likely, because of the wind.
Well, after you said that, one of your ex-witches stopped by. I don't know which witch stopped by, but she left her ride.
All right, it looks like it's a new model.
Yeah, give her a ring.
You were way too excited about that one. All right, well, time for sports. Brad Brown is standing by with something big from the Colts today.
Got some cleaning.
Okay, some good news for the Colts on this bye week. Team doctors have cleared Darius Leonard from concussion protocol, so he will be available for the team's game a week from Sunday against the Texans. Darius missed the last 3 Sundays. That's a big boost for the Colts D in an important division matchup. And good evening, everyone. The Pacers are back after a successful adventure to India. A couple of wins, a ton of points scored. We'll get our first chance to see them here at the end of this week. Today was the team's first workout since returning from Mumbai, India. Took an extra day off to adjust to the 9.5-hour time difference, also the 16-hour flight back. The energy we saw in those first 2 preseason tune-ups continued at St. Vincent Center this afternoon. And the way it looks, you can expect to see that same level from the get-go.
They told us we were only supposed to play, 15, 20 minutes, but, your competitive spirit just kicks in, especially the way we started. We were able to kind of make that comeback and play in that environment. It was a lot of fun, and nobody wanted to sit, all our competitive spirits just came out. And then even the second game, me and Doma was supposed to sit, but, we wanted to play and get used to playing with this group and so on. So, some sacrifice on our parts, but at the same time, it's really great or good.
Pacers play the first of 2 more preseason games at home this Friday. The other is 1 week from tonight. In between will be the annual Fan Jam. That's on Sunday afternoon at 2:30. Doors open at 1 o'clock for that. The regular season starts in just 2 weeks. On Wednesday, the 23rd, the opener is at home against the Detroit Pistons. IndyCar's lineup for 2020 is seeing some more changes. Aero Schmidt Peterson Motorsports' new venture with McLaren is having a bit of a ripple effect. That means Team Sweden will be together in the series next season. Chip Ganassi Racing announcing on Tuesday that Marcus Ericsson will be driving for the team in 2020. He'll be in the number 8 car. It's the team's 3rd entry. Ericsson will now be teammates with fellow Swede Felix Rosenqvist and 5-time series champ Scott Dixon headlining the Ganassi trio. Ericsson had 1 podium and 3 top 10 finishes this past season with SPM. He finished 23rd at the Indy 500. And IndyCar's second test of the Aero Screen safety system is being called a success. Ryan Hunter-Reay and Simon Pagenaud ran it at Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama. Pagenaud running in the rain with that clip right there. Drivers giving it a thumbs up in the wet conditions. The next test will be next week at Richmond.
Brad, thank you for that. Next here on RTV6, they're not old enough to vote, but they're learning high-level cybersecurity techniques. The program that's teaching Central Indiana students how to prevent hackers from stealing your information. Next.
Beautiful jewelry.
Tonight in Hiring Hoosiers, local students are learning how to keep individuals, businesses, and governments safe from hackers. They're getting ready to go from the classroom to careers in this high-demand cybersecurity industry. 33 students are taking Center Grove High School's new course in cybersecurity. They're learning about personal security and password safety while looking at the bigger picture, using firewalls and tracking down encrypted viruses and messages. Senior Meredith Fain is most interested in penetration testing, and she's learning skills now to help her in a future career.
Security is only becoming more and more important, so it's really critical to be able to have that secure base for your company so that people you don't want in cannot get in.
Center Grove's cybersecurity class is made possible through an organization called Project Lead the Way. It provides a virtual lab for students to try out hacking and security techniques so they don't need to use their school's network. Hiring Hoosiers is also exploring resources to help you become your own boss. An annual report on Latino entrepreneurship shows Latino-owned businesses are a powerful force fueling the Latino economy. But Steve Nannis explains there is room for improvement.
Look at this, limonata en cremolata.
The sweet taste of success often requires sacrifices.
It is just a lot of hard work and dedication. I mean, I haven't known a vacation since its inception, and that's okay with me because this is life.
Myrna Perez is one of millions of Latino business owners playing a key role in the U.S. economy. The latest report from the Stanford Latino Entrepreneurship Initiative shows the growth rate of Latino-owned businesses is higher than any other group.
It's amazing how we have grown. We have found out that majority of our businesses actually are Latina women.
The report also found these businesses face unique challenges. Latino startups tend to stay smaller and therefore make less money than their counterparts.
Over 5 million businesses now Hispanic nationwide, but only really 3% of them are a million and over.
The research also found that small businesses overall struggled with lack of business training and access to capital and loans. In fact, the report found that 72% of owners don't know their business credit score.
Having to educate our community that they are actually entrepreneurs and they have access to many other resources to grow their company, that's really the key.
Small business resources plus education and career guidance will all be available this weekend at the Indiana Latino Expo. The expo is happening Friday and Saturday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds Blue Ribbon Pavilion. Admission is free and RTV6 is a proud media sponsor. The expo's job fair is on Friday from 4 to 7 o'clock. And you can check out all of our Hiring Hoosiers coverage plus career resources and job openings right now at hiringhoosiers.com. You're watching RTV6.
Or at batteriesplus.com.
I love this picture. It's as if Elvis and Milo are just contemplating the day.
They are just chatting.
They're talking about it.
Aww.
Do we want to wander out into the yard? Maybe, maybe not. And you should. It'll be a beautiful day tomorrow.
Cute.
Thank you, Mandy, for the picture. Let me make one announcement. Elvis has left the yard.
And we're leaving the building right now.
Good night.